Magis azufara. Suja dorso.
The Pathless. Great. Well, that was a really fun. That was a really fun game. I really liked a lot about it. So I guess I'll just go through some of these thoughts that I kind of jotted down during this last playthrough. I've obviously been talking through a lot of it and thinking a lot about it as we've been going through, but I think always good to start with the good. The world building is really fantastic. I'm actually going to take my headphones off because the music's beautiful, but it's quite distracting for my thoughts. So I'm just going to move my headphones back here. The world building was really cool. The story was really really subtly doled out to me, and there were quite a few really nice reveals. The way that you had to, it was kind of totally voluntary to experience most of the story through the lore tablets and the inner thoughts of the corpses you kind of find throughout. It was the twists that kind of came out through that exploration were revelatory in a way that I wasn't really expecting. Like there were cool, genuine twists that I was surprised by. Finding out that the Godslayer was previously a Pathfinder was cool. Seeing everyone talks about environmental storytelling a lot when it comes to more artful games, and the developers here did a lot of really good environmental storytelling. The architecture was really evocative, really consistent, but very distinctive from location to location. There was like a cohesive feeling to everything. It was everything seemed very purposeful, very beautifully, holistically designed. The size of the world was really incredible to me as well. From the first impression that I got, seeing like the island. There's like an island model that you get like right at the beginning that you see. That when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this game isn't that big. But like as you move from section to section, like each section is quite large. And it's very simple, but I really liked the seasonal themes. It was very clearly like a summer, a spring, an autumn, and a winter location. And it's nothing, super clever, but I think it's a really good like foundation for when you're designing a place like this with different areas with their own feeling. I loved that it was combat free apart from the boss fights. I loved that it was just a very nice like pacifist game for the most part, and even the fighting that you do is like it's still kind of puzzle solvy. It's not just straight up like shooting arrows indiscriminately. So I liked that they used a weapon in a way that was non-combat centric, having all of the puzzles be solved purely through your bow and arrow and your eagle was like it was really cool. It was a very cool concept. Unfortunately, because of that limitation of the mechanics, the puzzle design was fairly limited as well as a result, which was a shame, but that's fine. Like the game sticks to doing one thing, it sticks to its lane, and the times that it deviates were really like cool and really interesting and impactful when they happened. So I can see why a player of the game would get a little bit tired of the same. Oh, we got more story. Let me just check this before I continue. Oh, this is the extended ending that you get for getting all of the lightstones. So you're probably seeing a bit of distortion in the top corner as I get these trophies. This is the true ending. Curse is lifted. Oh, and dispelled. That's nice. So I guess just by doing the regular ending, presumably, your character dies. That's nice. That's a nice little bonus you get for putting in the hard yards to solve every puzzle. Where's it going to take me now? Just to the menu. Yeah. So, cool world, cool concept, cool execution of a core mechanic, good doling out of lore. The bad, apart from the puzzles being kind of limited, it sort of reminds me of The Last Guardian in that way. Just to tie back to another game I've played on stream that I also kind of gave my thoughts on at the end. The jumping was the jump didn't feel nice, but it was kind of offset by the double jump that you get with the eagle and the gliding. That was cool. The music was beautiful. I wish there was more of it, but when it occurred, when the songs were triggered by entering new areas or by cutscenes, they were really good. And what else was good? Another bad, that the aiming was kind of occasionally a little difficult because of the sort of automatic aiming depending on where you're facing. The game is for the most part very good at intuitively working out what target you're aiming for, but sometimes when all of the targets were bunched together, there were times that were very frustrating where I was trying to solve a puzzle and I knew the solution, but my arrow was not going to the right target or in the right direction. A little bit more malleability with that would have been really nice, but I don't know how you would do that. I guess maybe with one of the other triggers or other buttons you could have had like a manual aiming mode. That would have been very welcome to me. And yeah, I think that's it on my thoughts on the Pathless. Actually, the other thing that I will say, that ending was nice too. The final, I guess the meaning of the game, the where the title comes from, the idea of feeling lost on your journey and finding your own path was a thing that the game really locks into mechanically and then also thematically, and that was a nice reveal, I guess. Like, it was another thing I was like, okay, yeah, sure, like pretty obvious rather than we got a bit of plane noise right now. The one plane of the weekend going over when I'm talking. So yeah, having that be like a mechanical link to the theme and having that reveal at the end is cool. Like, everyone has to make their own journey, otherwise they haven't learned anything. You don't internalize something until you experience it for yourself in your own way. And so having this open world with no map, just a series of experiences that you can pick your path through to get to the end is I think it's a good way of communicating the message, and it feels like they worked from that point backwards. They had this idea of like a lot of this game was obviously very inspired by Breath of the Wild, and I think the thing that they pulled away from Breath of the Wild specifically, that I think gave them the idea that they could work back from, just speculating here, is that idea of the journey being more important than the destination, which is it's such a big thing in Breath of the Wild. Everyone's playthrough of that game is so different because it's all about discovery, and I think that game is a real example of one where getting to the end of it on your own terms is really special. And so I think they just wanted to capture that feeling in a more bite-sized, simpler experience rather than having this enormous epic tale. They just wanted like a fairly linear tale told through this like open world discovery style of game. And I think that's really, I think it's really good. It's a really good game. Highly recommended.